Yeah, this is looking fresh. Homies up in here. A lot of homies up in here. It's looking good. See some people chilling outside. That's nice. That's cool. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Alright, what's up? What's up, guys? My name is Eliot. I'm a 29-year-old man who's made a series of life decisions that have led me to the husk of the human being that you see in front of you. The withered soul that I am. And it's really not that bad, though. I really haven't made that many bad decisions. Can you imagine if there was somebody who made their life decisions completely based off fortune cookies, though? That would be pretty tight. Like, you just literally, like, first of all, you would get to eat Chinese food every day. So, pretty much set. If somebody, like, you gotta, if somebody my age has literally their entire life been making their decisions based off of fortune cookies, then they've made a well enough living to eat Chinese takeout or Chinese food every single fucking day. So that's it, dude. You're set. Like, I would be good to go. Like, life accomplished. But you don't really get many negative fortune cookies. Like, I've never gotten a negative fortune ever in my entire fucking life. Like, they've always been something pretty positive, if not vague. It'd be cool if fortune cookies were honest sometimes. Like, if you're at a China buffet, you got like a fortune cookie at the end. You're about to go get another plate, you open up your fortune cookie first, and it's like, hey man, maybe skip out on that fourth plate of General Tso's, because the General's about to rain down some bowel cancer on your ass if you do that. It's gonna be a bad situation. All fallen soldiers up in there. But I don't know, I think my thing with China buffets is I can't really fuck with it as much as I did when I was younger. I have to smoke like too much weed. I just don't have enough money for enough weed to smoke enough weed to want to go to the China buffet to get my money's worth at this point. Like if weed became legal in Florida and they fused the two things together, I'd never leave. I was like, you charge me $50. That would be my weekend, every weekend. Luckily my partner smokes a bunch of weed, so she would be cool with it. I'd be like, hey, what are we doing tonight? Oh, we're going to the China buffet again. There's got a couple new strains and a couple new plates of chicken, and I'm just gonna try all these fucking things out at the same time, multiple times. Because you don't have to throw up, you just keep smoking weed until, you either go into a coma from either the chicken or the weed, one way or another. You're gonna be sleeping in the seat, so I hope the booths are nice there too. Hope they pad those things up. But, of course, we didn't get medical marijuana in Florida because even though the vote was more than 50%, apparently that just doesn't matter nowadays. It's just not. Even though more people wanted it than people didn't want it, there's just a contingent of, not to be offensive, but just old people that are just really fucking old that, I guess I understand, there's really no benefit to medical marijuana if you're breathing out, you're so fucking old and decrepit that you're breathing out an iron lung somewhere in Sarasota, Florida. Just I just don't understand how you vote still, how that really works. You just vote by proxy. No weed. I think that's what he said. Can't tell if that's a breathing machine or an actual sound coming out of that dude's voice, but one way or the fucking other, he definitely, dude wasn't having it. Dude wasn't having it. And things are different when you're 103, 3, 4, 500,000 years old. However fucking old. Speaking of people that are old, I heard that last year Puff Daddy and Drake got into a scuffle in Miami. I don't know. Obviously Puff Daddy must have whapped Drake on the head with his fucking cane, because Puff Daddy was he was pretty old when I was fucking 12, 13. He was coming up, but he was still pretty old. So I gotta imagine he's at least 80 or 90 years old at this point. He's gotta be pretty up there. And Drake, I don't know what happened. Maybe Drake accidentally put in some girl's phone number in, and it was actually Diddy's phone number, and he just called Diddy. You remember when Diddy was I don't mean to go off on a tangent right here, but Puff Daddy's had so many fucking different names. It's kind of, I feel he kind of feels some people forgot about them, but I didn't forget.
I didn't forget when you were called Dr. Diddy for like 2 weeks. That period of time. I remember that. You can't take that away from me. That did happen. That was a thing that happened. Life before smartphones, and social media was kind of better in a way, but it's also kind of hard. I remember when I was 16, I had this crazy fucking dude that worked. I worked at Circuit City. Don't know if any of you guys remember that. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, Circuit City. Yeah, retail. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember that shit, but I had this one dude I worked with. He was just fucking nuts. He had he's a real estate salesman on the side and also a manager at Circuit City. So he made a pretty good amount of money. And I just remember being 17 and going to this dude's house, and they were all in his fucking room. It was him and 2 of my other managers and a bunch of people I worked with, and they were all smoking weed, and they didn't want to let me in there because they thought I was going to narc on all of them at work the next day. I don't even know. I don't know if I just look like a cop, I've seen Police Academy before, but that didn't encourage me to join the Police Academy. I like bananas though; they're nice. But they just didn't want to let me in there. They were just no. And then one of my managers was like, "You can't tell anybody at work about this." It's hey man, I want a job too. I'm good, man. Let's just sitting here, and he had a fucking ice luge. Have you ever seen one of those fucking things? The fucking giant ice sculptures you pour liquor out. There's just some bro dude there, and he was I just walked by and he just tapped me on the shoulder, and by tap of course I mean he's a drunk bro dude, so he's just yeah dude, yeah. He just pushed me, fucking almost pushed me into the fucking a glass table, and I'm just whoa dude, what's up? He's yeah dude, he's yeah dude, you do this for me? He's what, you want me to pour liquor down the fucking slide for you? What? What do you want? He's yeah, dude. Yeah, bro. Yeah, can you do that for me, dude? You hook it up? I'm alright, dude. Alright, I'll do it. So I poured a little bit. I poured a little bit extra there because I was kind of an asshole. I kind of wanted to puke all over it, but he didn't. He didn't do it. It was whatever. And then he's alright, dude. Now you do it. And I'm just okay, I'll do it. And it was fucking ridiculous. I went outside to the backyard, and there was this giant slip and slide, and people were getting fucking naked and going down this giant fucking adult slip and slide and shit. And I was just fucking sitting there. I was 17. I was just oh, I don't know, fucking. I don't even know what the fuck's going on right now. I feel literally the most uncool person at this entire fucking party. I'm just sitting there, and I'm just damn dude. Sitting there with my friend Roderick, just quoting Simpsons episodes, trying to stay chill and being yeah man, I can't wait to watch more Simpsons when I get home, and remember that I'm actually a fucking nerd and not a dude who can ride an adult slip and slide naked with all these fucking crazy naked people are getting crazy. Told so many of my friends about this story, none of them fucking believe me, dude. None of them. Everybody, as soon as I get to the slip and slide, they're nah, dude, you're fucking lying. That didn't happen. And I'm motherfucker, that shit did happen. I was there. That shit happened, but I don't have proof of it because it was too late. Oh, look at these. Look at these fucking homies that just walked in. I don't mean to call anybody out, but damn, man, damn, that's sick. That's right. But yeah, social media is the bane of all existence. It's really a game at this point. You just pull up Facebook and you just scroll through your news feed and figure out how much time you can do it before you're slowly pounding your fist into the fucking keyboard because you're so angry at all the stupid things that everybody's saying. And I mean, I don't get me wrong, I don't feel I have stupid friends or anything, and don't get me wrong either, I'm no better. I am no better. I have a Facebook, and I posted some shit on there. Thank fucking Christ for the delete button, dude. Alcohol, drugs, and Facebook, damn, what a fucking disgustingly terrible combination that thing is. It can be beautiful every once in a while, but most of the time it's just a fucking train wreck. It's just a clusterfuck of epic proportions. And there's a lot of hot button issues right now. I know abortion is like a huge hot button issue right now. People are just not cool with abortions. Like once you have the kid, like once the kid is born, comes out of the womb, like you're on your fucking own. Like get a job. Like get a job. Like no help for you. Zero help. If the kid, when the kid's in the womb, like we have to protect it. Like this baby has to be born, so it can probably have a terrible life because whoever wants to have the abortion doesn't want to have the child. So yeah, but like it has to like you have to get out of there, and then we'll have somebody else that we can complain about how we shouldn't feed or like take care of or do anything with. They'll just go ahead. It's like, oh yeah, but at least there's another person walking around, right? No, fuck no, dude.
9,000,001.
Yeah, like, but I mean, honestly, I'm gonna give it about 1 or 2 years before jerking off is illegal too, because those are kids. Like those are kids. Like. I mean, at least if you're a dude, like you're shooting like kids into your sock or like whatever you use. I'm not saying I use a sock. I'm not trying to be TMI, but I jerk off in the shower. I just want everybody to know that I keep it clean. Okay? My sheets and my socks are clean. But 13-year-old fucking Jimmy, who just discovered the like multiple thousands of ways that you can watch porn on the internet nowadays, just in case you didn't know when you get home later, that is a thing now. Google it. But, you know, he doesn't really understand. And, you know, I'm just envisioning a future 2 or 3 years from now, and Jimmy's just about to finish, and right before he finishes, there's just a SWAT team just breaks through the fucking windows. They're just like, get down on the ground, get down. Those are children in there. You sick fuck, you murderer. And, you know, that would be great and all, but the problem is that Jimmy turned 13 3 months ago. So, unfortunately, it'd be like pretty CSI, pretty Law and Order-esque. It's like hard piano keys striking. It's like, wait a minute. It's like, you're gonna have to come to this clothes hamper over here. I think we got a situation. There's like 20 or 30. Oh yeah, this is bad. It's a proverbial fucking holocaust of dead sock children, potential kids that could have happened. Man, what a fucking absolute tragedy. What a day. Oh man, things are pretty strange in 2015. People are trying to pass laws where you can't serve things to certain people if they don't agree with your religion in certain places. Come on, dude. Like I think it was Michigan. They tried to pass a law where an EMT would be allowed to not serve somebody or not save somebody's life based on like if their religious beliefs like clashed, if they were like homosexual or something like that. And it's just like, you gotta be a fucking real lifestyle Superman to be an EMT and determine if somebody's gay or straight in like the fucking like 5 minutes that you walk through the door and you have to like resuscitate somebody, like stop their heart. It's like, wait a second, let me see. How is a single male? He's at how many? There's a couple of share CDs there, but he's got a wrestling DVD. Oh fuck, he's got a wrestling DVD on the counter though, so I can't really tell. Like, what is this WWE or is this something that's independent? Oh, I don't know. That guy on the cover's got a lot of grease on his chest. I don't know. He might have just bought it for that. Meanwhile, it's just like, it's like, yeah, you fucking probably shouldn't have a job in general. It's just probably a thing. I mean, if it was universal, I mean, I guess it's universal for all religions. I mean, if I could work at a Starbucks and not serve somebody their fucking triple double venti fucking latte because they don't know they've never heard my favorite Mayhem album before, my favorite Dark Throne album. It's like, you don't like black metal? You're not into Satan? Get the fuck out. I'm not serving you a drink. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. You fucking You fucking pleb, you plebeian fuck, you mouth-breathing fuck. Are you kidding me right now? Man, you know, wouldn't it be great to have an ironic wine cellar? Okay, bear with me here. You have an ironic wine cellar. You got a collection of wines in your basement. Of course, this is Florida, and of course, this would be an ironic wine cellar. So by basement, I mean like, you know, maybe a small cupboard or whatever the fuck you have lying around. You like, you know, put some flowers or something next to it to make it look seasonal. And it's just like, step into my wine cellar. Yes, let me open this up for you real quick. Here I have an aged MD 2020 bottle. I got this from Lee's Groceries on Fletcher Avenue about 4 years ago. Based on the amount of dust on the bottle on the bottom shelf when I purchased it, I would say that this wine was already aged about 2 years. So this is a 6-year aged MD 2020 bottle. This is the Bling Bling Blue Raspberry flavor. I don't know if you tried it before, but the blue raspberry really tastes exquisite after a few years. It just mixes in with the formulated sugars so well. It's really hitting the spot right now. I'll give you a glass, but that's a third date kind of thing. Just come back tomorrow. We'll see about that. Yeah. It would be good. It would be good times. I think so. I don't mean to get on the abortion thing again. I know it's a hot topic, and I know I just been thinking about this for a little while, and I know this is really, and I really apologize, but not really. I don't do this to apologize. So I mean, I'm just saying, you know how there's stem cell research, right? And that's great. Everybody should clap for that, because stem cell research is, that shit's important. Like, but isn't it, I mean, as someone who smokes a lot of weed, isn't it kind of strange, even though they're not really related anyway, that like a fetus that's aborted and a bag of weed, like the opposite things are valuable in it? Because the stems are really the only valuable thing about an aborted fetus. And weed is like, just like fucking, I get really pissed if there's stems in my weed, but if there were stems in the aborted fetus that I found in a bag on the ground, not saying that that's ever happened, then I would be pretty stoked. Like, I don't know what I would do with them. I don't know if it's like, I don't know how that really works. I don't know if I could just like tape those to the back of my head and I get smarter. Like really, I don't know. I don't know that much about stem cell research. I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty ignorant to the whole thing. I know it's good, and I know it's probably a solid thing, but I don't know enough about it. I know more about weed, fucking obviously, from like the way you can tell I'm talking right now. I know a lot more about that. Oh man. Yeah. Let me just mold this over in the old noggin real quick. I don't see any cops outside right now, so that's cool. I know I said weed a couple of times, so I feel like they probably got some kind of satellite view on me right now. I mean, this is 2015. I don't know if you're allowed to say weed legally in Florida anymore. I don't smoke weed. Just make sure that's the loudest thing that I say. Drugs are bad. Don't do any drugs. Definitely don't do any acid. Don't ever do acid. Unless you want to go on vacation and you can't afford to go on vacation. Because if you can't afford to go to Hawaii, but you can afford to spend $30 on 3 hits of acid, then you can look at a nice painting of Hawaii on the internet, and you're pretty much fucking there. Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There was a point in time, because, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I've done a pretty solid amount of acid. One of the first times I ever did acid, I went with my friend Keith to a gas station, to a 7-Eleven, and I thought that it would be okay. No. I waited a little too long after I took it to go to the gas station. It started kicking in when I was there, and I was just sitting there staring at the back of the freezer, where like the Gatorades and everything was at, and I'm just like sitting there like, He's like, hey man, are you gonna get anything? And I'm like, get anything? It's like, yeah man, let me walk through that like 20 fucking mile ice cavern to grab a fucking Gatorade. You go on that suicide mission, you fucking asshole. You know I'm not gonna fucking get anything. I fucking like, you know, he like grabbed me a drink and shit. I fucking get to the counter, completely forgot how to use money. Completely forgot that was a thing at all. Like a transaction of monetary goods. They're like, all right, that'll be $2.12. And I was just like, wait a minute, wait. What is this? What is this? Oh yeah, I have to pay for things. Fuck. Yeah. But I mean, I don't wanna encourage anybody to do drugs unless you want to have a good time. That's not. But you really shouldn't don't do any drugs except for acid, mushrooms, weed. Oh god, yeah, there's two. I only have like probably like 5 minutes left. I don't have like 20 or 30, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Don't do any drugs besides those and probably like 40 or 50 more kinds of drugs. Just don't do them all at the same time and you'll be solid. But you can do some of them at the same time. Look it up on the internet. The internet has everything. You can find everything on the internet. Unfortunately. I remember, and like, of course, to be serious for a minute, like the Michael Brown is a complete tragedy. But like months after that happened, there was a photo circulating of a black male with a gun in his hand, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's Michael Brown with a gun in his hand. Like, you see him now, like he's not so innocent, is he?" All these fucking like people who I can only assume are the equivalent of like the garbage water that accumulates in the bottom of a bag at a fast food restaurant, like all the fucking grease and like leftover Coke and shit, like the disgusting fucking water that like literally is so acidic that like breaks the bag open and spills out when you're trying to throw it over the dumpster. Worked at a fast food restaurant when I was 15, that's how I know about that. But people that are like pretty much equivalent to that in brain power and human heart having ability. You know, a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, that proves that he totally should have just been murdered for no reason. Like, he's holding a gun. Like, that's not legal in America." But either way, it wasn't Michael Brown. That was the main thing. And because the internet exists and because people are very fast about things nowadays, it was proven in about a solid like 5 minutes after it was posted. It was like, "Oh, actually, this is this person, not Michael Brown," etc. But everybody just kept posting it. So what I assume that to mean is that in 2015, you can post a picture of anything and say that it's anything, and it's cool. Like, I can post a picture of a postcard of the Grand Canyon sitting on my record player and say that I'm at the Grand Canyon. And just enjoying a nice day at the Grand Canyon, or I can post a picture of a Coke and say that it's a Pepsi. It's all the same fucking thing at this point. Everything is the same thing. Or, you know, I can post a picture of a dude holding a Coke and say that it's Michael Brown holding a gun. And it just all fucking works out. Because, I mean, really, like, who needs to think about anything anymore when the internet is doing all of your thinking for you? And who needs to post their actual opinion anymore when you can just repost every single article and not even read it because the picture is nice and the headline says everything that you need to fucking know. Right? Wrong. No. Bad human race. Not good. Not chill. Alright, well, thanks guys. I really appreciate it. My name's Eliot Mayo.